The trailer for the Fusionfall Legacy demo dropped last night, and as you could tell, we were excited. Fusion Gumball!
Oh my god!
I'm up to turn you down.
So I was peer pressured by the devs. I decided to do a detailed trailer analysis so we can see if they've snuck in anything unnoticed or if there's any interesting trivia you might have missed. So the first clip in the trailer is a still with 5 fusion monsters. The fusions of number 2, Buttercup, and Gumball, along with Don Doom and Lord Fuse. Fusion number 2 returns with the Putta on his back, and was basically already confirmed because of the number 2 Nano. Fusion Buttercup foreshadows that the Buttercup Nano revealed later. Fusion Buttercup is also seen flying. This might be an effect for the video, or they might have been giving more movement abilities to fusions who can fly, like the Fusion Powerpuff Girls in number 2. Fusion Gumball is a nod to DevBlog 7, and a hint at the reveal of the Gumball NPC later in the trailer. Don Doom is a foreshadow for seeing Don Doom in the trailer later. And Lord Fuse is, Lord Fuse. I highly doubt you'd be fighting him in the demo. They'd probably just put him in this picture because he's the main antagonist. Also, the voiceover is the lines that Ben said in Tech Squared the Future. Strangely enough, we know nothing about Ben being in the demo aside from the way big Nano coming out in an update down the road. This flying Scamper was never a thing in the original Fusionfall, but in Project R, you could see Scampers flying around periodically. This could either be a cutscene or just a cool thing that happens in the sky sometime. The shaky camera makes it seem more like a random event that happens in the sky, which is really cool as it makes the airspace feel more alive. As the Scamper zooms off, you can see that the jump shed is officially gone in the demo and the original Scamper takes its place. Also, while the Scamper is flying away, you can see a big chunk of messed up rodent terrain. There is no such place in the original Future Sector V, so it's nice to see the whole "the world is dying" theme being explored a bit more. Also, the fact that people are still driving cars in this apocalyptic time makes me laugh. Nothing new appeared, but you can see the spots of 2 K&D agents who will later appear in the trailer, and most of the spawn areas for fusion spawns. The "explore the distant future" makes it seem like this is much farther in the future than we've seen before. This is further backed up later in the trailer. In the corner, you can see a bright green thing. It appears to be a fusion matter in a test tube of some kind. Will this be a decoration, or maybe involve a mission or two? You can also see an NPC over by the test tube. It appears to be a K&D agent, as the color palette matches the ones we see later. And also, we can't see if there's an NPC in Hero Square or not, because the hill and the plants don't allow us to see the whole thing. Sneaky devs. It might just be my eyes, but I can see slight movement behind the hill. I'll get to what that is later. And then my boy Prince King shows up! The end of the world can't stop him! He's still alive and well! Prince King strolls by 2 K&D operatives guarding the treehouse, at least one of which is a mission giver. This is really exciting as it diversifies the missions and mission givers, allowing for a deeper story. This is also just random, but we've seen a lot of crates and miscellaneous items by NPCs, not only in the trailer, but in the mission video as well. This actually makes me really hyped, as I love these small touches in games that do a lot more than you think. Instead of just standing around in the middle of nowhere, these NPCs have supplies and reasons to stand where they are because of the boxes and things by them. Also, this probably isn't intentional, but the angle the treehouse is tilted makes it so we can't see anything on the treehouse base. Sneaky Devs Part 2. The next part shows Prince King running alongside Don Doom, who is a mini-boss that spawned in both versions of Pokeoaks. This scene is major evidence to the "we're farther in the future" theory. It wouldn't make sense for Don Doom to move to Sector V if Pokeoaks still existed, and on top of that, we can see the bridge to Pokeoaks North, and it's broken with nothing past that. That either means we're A, so far in the future that Sector V is all that's left, or B, there's another area that you need to visit by Scamper or Teleporter. I'd be willing to bet on A. Cute note, this is also the first time you could see shock tanglers, who are hanging out by the fountain. You can see these in better detail later. Following that, you can see the Candy training area, or was it called Operation Training? I don't know. Has a complete rework. The original Candy training area was just a bunch of platforms with linear patterns and no height variation. I'm glad to see it change for the better, and it looks freaking sweet. Zip lines are a returning infected zone thing that were brought back to this one. It is unsure whether or not monsters will be in this infected zone, as it was one of the few without monsters in it. Also, the placement of what I assume is Fusion number 2's lair is different now. Now it is at the end of a deadly fusion matter lake instead of after a pile of boxes. We also got a clip of someone running through a fusion lair full of shock tanglers. This is probably Fusion number 2's lair, as both iterations of his lair had shock tanglers in it, even after the feature was removed. CN, do you know what continuity is? Now we get to see the 5 NPCs, and I'll tell you where I think they're placed. While number 2 isn't on the treehouse in the trailer, I think of him being on the treehouse in an actual demo is a good guess. The beckoning he does with his hands makes it more seem like a trailer cutscene-y kind of animation instead of a normal idle one. Buttercup is shown flying along some rope. This is the bridge to Pokeoks North. Look at it. It's gone. Deleted, depleted, dead, in the drink. Pokeoks North is gone. Also, there's that cool thing from Hunter's Crest and Wilto's future Mount Blackhead. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty cool. These islands may just be for show, but the red and the blue items near that one house make it seem like they might be explorable, where you have to salvage parts from the houses or something. Going back to Buttercup, I find it unlikely she'd be flying around, as that would be a pain to track down, but I do think she's an NPC that was moving behind that hill during that clip of Hero Square. It would make sense, as none of the other characters appear to be in Hero Square. Gumball, with an amazing never-before-seen model I may add, looks as if he's on top or in the treehouse, as seen by the candy crates, the wooden foundation on walls, and the literal tree branch clipping through the wall. Samurai Jack appears to be in a fusion lair of some kind. I don't think this will be his normal place, as it seems weird to have to visit a fusion lair in order to talk to an NPC. And finally, number 5 is seen in the front yard of a house on the outskirts of Sector V. This looks like around the place where the terrain and the road were messed up from before. Moving on to nanos, the character with the Buttercup nano is level 2, and has the Buttercup and number 2 nano, which confirms that the first 2 nanos you'll be getting are Buttercup and number 2. Buttercup is shown to have her misfire ability still, which is a stun, and number 2 still has Zoom-a-Zoom! Next shows Funsky battling some fusion spawns with a lightning gun. The most interesting part is that he has no nanos. 1, come on Jason, step it up, we've got work to do here, and 2, the first nano isn't given to you during a tutorial. And also the nanocom continues to show what you've looted from monsters every time you slay one. It also shows that Deaths and Resurrectums work. Also, come on Jason, it's a level 1 fusion spawn, get your head in the game! And then finally, before the September 2015 release date, we see a clip of Fusion number 2 flying outside the infected zone. What? This could either be another clip for video purposes to hype us up, or it may be a confirmation that fusions may sometimes be outside of a lair. This was actually a scrap feature in the original game, and I'm super interested to see what they do with it, if they do anything at all. And that's the trailer. As you can see, we were still really excited about it. And I think I speak for everyone when I say we can't wait for this game to come out. Thank you to the dev team for making this happen. You guys rock.